Hey, g'day guys, it's Adam with another Trip Ready review, and today we're going to be checking out the 23ZERO YOWIE or Armadillo X hard shell rooftop tent. We're going to check out all of its features. We're going to do a timed setup and pack down. I'll share my thoughts after the obligatory 3 trip uses, and then we'll finish up with some quickfire pros and cons. Now, a couple of things with this video. One, if you're watching on YouTube, there will be chapters down below that you can use to skip ahead in need. 2, links to the best or cheapest place you can buy one of these for yourself if you're interested. I will make sure I link in the video description. And 3, be sure to check out the channel for more review videos just like this one. So this is it. This is 23ZERO's new hard shell rooftop tent. It is a ABS hard plastic shell, which gives you that durability that you're after, especially when you're taking the thing out on trips. And dimensionally, you're coming in at about 130 in width. You've got about 158 in length, and then height-wise is about 40 centimeters. The rooftop tent itself comes in at about the 79 kilogram mark in overall weight, but then you do have the mounting rails and hardware. You're probably looking at about 1.5 kilos there. And then from a warranty perspective, you've got a 2-year warranty. Now, this is their new X-frame design, and that sits in about there, and it's all to do with the hinge that you're going to see in just a sec when we open this up. It's designed to give you maximum headroom down the end here. So you'll see when it goes up, instead of sort of just going up like that, like some other rooftop tents, or there's others that go straight up, this guy with the X there sort of opens up and then out like that. So it gives you more headroom down the end, and it gives you 4 windows. It gives you windows all the way around. Door down here, one on either side here, but then also gives you this little window at the back here where you sort of have your head, which is pretty cool and pretty unique in this segment. All the hardware that comes with the tent is all stainless steel, of course. Going to give you plenty of longevity and corrosion protection there as well. And probably the only other thing to note on the outside is the clipping mechanism, which I reckon is pretty cool because it's lockable. So you can actually lock these down, which then prevents these clips coming off to be able to open the tent. So if that's a concern, good news, 23ZERO got you covered. There's 4 of these, 1 in each of the corners. Now that's about all she wrote from an external perspective. I'm really keen to get this guy set up and show you what that's like. So let's flick on over to first person mode. Let's get the drone up. Let's start the clock and get this guy all set up. All right, so one of the big advantages with this guy is how fast it is to set up. So pretty easy to do. It's just pull these straps out. You got 4 on each corner. You clip them out just like that. We then come on over. I normally do the back side first because it does fold out this way. We can then clip out number 3 and number 4. It should sort of pop a little bit, but it will stay. From here, you just give it a good press, grab your strap, up just like that. Super easy. Grab your little bungee. This sort of keeps the windows and that sort of stuff out of the way. We then come over this side, do the same there. Bungee 2 done. Pull the ladder until it clips into place like that. Grab here, pull out, done like that. I've managed to kibosh rip this off on a previous trip, so whack that on there. Then you'll notice there's these little clips here. You can just pull those up, depending on, you know, your height and that sort of stuff. For me though, I normally put this first one all the way up, clip it into place like that, and you're kind of done really, because the only other things to do with these 2 clips, you undo those, pull out your front awning, and there you go. We do have in there, you can see the sleeping bag and everything. We'll go through that in a minute. There's our poles, strategically left from the last trip. Normally I jump up here and cheat, but you don't have to. We can reach in here, grab a couple of poles. These guys, one clips in here, just there. So we can just slot him in like that. That's window number 1, just in the eyelet. And then the other one is just here. We'll clip him in as well. And then window number 2. And that is it. What do you think? That is stop the clock. I'm not sure what time that is, but I'm thinking probably only a minute something. It is super fast. From here, let's run through a whole bunch of the overview sort of features, bits and pieces that this guy comes with. So let's flick on back to the main camera and get stuck into all of the features. So here we are, we're all set up here. Let's have a bit of a look around. There's our X frame there, and that's what gives you that extra lift. So you can see headroom wise, we'll have a look inside in a second. That gives you that extra height, which is really cool. Big windows, same on both sides. And one of the unique things I think is the fact that there's a window at the back, and that's generally where you have your noggin sitting on the back here. The cool thing I've noticed about this is you can leave your bedding in there. So I've got a big sleeping bag in there, big winter one. Fits that no problem at all, which is pretty cool. Now, as far as the actual tent goes, it is 2 skins. So you do have an inner and an outer fly on the overall tent, which adds to that extra waterproofness. It does have something cool about it. It has LST technology, which is light suppression technology. And you can see in here, see the darkness there? You'll see what I mean on the inside. You can kind of already get a feel. It is full on block out. They're in full sun. Think you're gonna need your torch to find the zips, that kind of black inside. So pretty awesome. Those early morning sunrises where the sun's blasting in is a thing of the past, because this guy does an amazing job at keeping that light out. One of the other pluses though as well is it keeps some of the temperature out as well. And we do have our little spring steel struts there for our windows, but none on the front. Some of the other tents you got to muck around with spring steel hangers and stuff on the front as well, but these is all built in, which I reckon is pretty cool. Saves you those precious couple of setup seconds. Full gas strut here to assist you with opening like you saw there before, making life very easy for ourselves. And everything is all stainless. So all your hardware is all stainless, which is great to see, adding to that extra corrosion protection. You do have 2 of these guys that come built in, which is pretty cool. These are your boot bags. So what these do is give you somewhere to put boots, shoes, that sort of stuff. And it's mesh on the bottom as well, which I reckon is really well thought out because it lets everything drip dry over time. You do have 2 of these LED strips. There's one at the front and one inside we'll check out in a minute. They're just powered by little USBs here, so easy to connect up to a 12-volt system in the back of the truck like we'll do in a minute. From a ladder perspective, all aluminium. The little steps are the sort of squared off ones, not the angled ones unfortunately, but maybe a future upgrade. Looking pretty good though from the outside. I reckon from here, let's get inside and see what you get. So if we come up our ladder here, and jump inside, and you can see all of the LST fabric on the inside here. So it coats absolutely everything on the inside of the fly. You have these little windows on the side that can be closed up there or left open for a little bit of extra ventilation. All the zips as well are super high quality. So you're using those very high quality zips, which is great to see. Everything is double stitched and seam sealed as well. So I can confirm, like I said, I've been in this on 2 separate trips with it absolutely bucketing down and was completely dry inside. So that is awesome and what you'd expect to see. From a front opening perspective, we do have double skin. We have our mesh here. Pretty good stuff, and nice and sort of thick too, not those really sort of skinny meshes, so expecting that to last. And then you've got your full door here as well that zips all the way down. Now moving across to the mattress, this is probably an important one. It is a 65 high density foam mattress. It's got this nice sort of orange velour cover here on the top. Now as far as comfort goes, this is a bit of a personal choice. I think the thing to remember though is you know this is never going to be as comfy as your mattress at home, so I don't expect that. However, I've had about 10 nights on this guy so far and I find this more than comfortable enough. It's definitely on the thicker side that you do see, and because of the high density, it's quite comfortable, especially with the extra top. I think by the time you're throwing a sleeping bag in there as well, I think it's quite comfortable. You do have a bit of room in here, so if you're needing to get a little bit more comfort or you're like a really heavy side sleeper, I'm about 90 kilos, so if you're a bit bigger or something like that, you know, you've got some room in here to throw something else on top, if that is going to be something that you're after. Now you will notice that up the top here we have a full roof liner. Now this is an automotive grade, the same as what you'd get in your car, and it is a one-piece molded unit, which I think is pretty cool. It does have a little bit of flex in it, a little bit of insulation in there as well. If we move our way back, we can see we do have this guy going on, and this is a full little sky roof, moon roof, whatever you want to call it. And you can see and do a bit of the old stargazing, something like that. As far as windows, they are double skin. So we do have the outer, like we looked at there before, as far as you can zip this guy fully closed like that, or have the window open like we have on the other side. And the cool thing is you don't have to muck around. You can leave that open because we have our extra window at the top that you can close down and zip up completely from the inside. So you don't have to sort of get back out or anything like that. Now, as far as sizing goes on the inside, I would say it's definitely are very comfortable 2 adults. You can easily fit 2 people in here, no worries at all, plenty of comfort. A little bit of room for some bags. If you've got huge bags, better to leave them downstairs or in the car itself. And then coming around the back, we have a couple of pockets on the side. These are really handy to put phones and torches and that sort of stuff in. Keys, just to remember to take them out before you pack the tent up. Ask me how I know. And then at the back here, here's our extra window. So I've got it fully open as well. You do have the fly mesh, the midgie mesh type stuff there, as well as the block out stuff. And you can see the difference that that makes straight away when we block that off. And I found this to be really good for that extra ventilation that comes through at your head there as well, at the sides and at the rear. Because of that as well, because this tent is so well ventilated, I'm finding that I've had no issues so far with any sort of condensation. We do have, finally, we have our big LED strip. What I like to do, you've got plenty of cable here, and I'll do that now. I normally sneak the cable through the window here. I've got USB power just down there, so I'll plug that in for you in 2 seconds. And there we go, that is what that looks like. You can see it illuminates everything really nicely. Probably a little bit hard to see on the camera, but it does a great job. That is all the lighting I have used as far as lighting inside here. Whenever I'm up here at night time, even with these windows and everything shut, I find that that guy does a fantastic job. Draws bugger all power, lights up everything really well. One big pro is just how compact and spacious at the same time. I think that is awesome, the fact that you can easily fit 2 adults in there, but when it compacts down, perfect for the back of the ute. Another pro would definitely be the LST. I think that is absolutely awesome. All tents should come with it. It is pretty cool stuff. The fact that you can be in the blazing sun, particularly in the morning after you've maybe had a big night or something like that. The last thing you want, especially when you're out relaxing, camping, that sort of jazz, is to be woken up by blazing sun at 4 in the morning. So LST, definite pro. And probably a third one for me is just the general insideness, if that's a thing, because just the way everything's laid out, I just find it a really nice place to be. Like I mentioned before, I've been in some really, really terrible weather with this thing. It cuts down the noise a little bit. The headliner is awesome for a bit of insulation. The pockets, the LST, the mattress, the whole box and dice. It's just a nice, warm, dry place to be. Only a couple of little cons or room for improvement, I think, is probably around the bolts themselves. Some of these, I reckon those little clips would be great. Those little sort of top hats that you put on, the little plastic. I have absolutely kiboshed my head on one of these in the past when I had it in a different configuration down low. User error, I know, but a little thing like that would be cool. Another thing that would be great is these back windows. The way that this extra little window, the window is excellent. I've had to put some little zip ties on here, so problem solved with that. But I've just found that it's just really hard to get to the zips themselves from the outside when you've got this big coating. Understand why we need it. Obviously you don't want any water getting in there, but some little zip tie, little something or others on the zips to make them easily accessible from the outside would be great. That's about it for the Quickfire pros and cons though. So let's start the clock there again. Let's flick on over to the other first person mode and get this guy all packed away. So first thing to do is to put the little side bits down, make sure you're all packed away in there. We can just push them down just like that, clip them into place, and then can't forget our windows. So if you're tall enough, you can just grab one, pull him out of there, grab our second one. I can pull him out of there. And then normally I just grab in here our little bag, just here, and we can just stash them back from whence they came, just in there. A bit of a jiggle, just like that. And they go back in there, leave the bottom of the window open, confirm you're all good there. From here, it's a matter of just packing away. Don't forget your other window if you have one of that up. And then it's just, you just push it in, give it a gentle push, and then these 2 little clips here, you can push on those, push all the way in. You want to then jump on up, grab your strap, you're going to need that in a minute. From here, we can get our little bungee cords, tuck your windows in, bungee on the outside like that. Same story on this side, grab your bungee in on your windows like that. So you can see it's already cinching it in, which is cool. Then grab your strap and just lean in on it. Just pull down. Once you get to about there, it should take care of itself. I normally then grab the strap and sort of tuck him up in there. And then the rest you can do by hand. It's just a matter of, oh, we've got a little bit more strap. We'll throw him in. And then it's just a pull down. Now from here, I just like putting a clip on just so she doesn't come flinging up at you. 2 there, and then come back around to the other side. You may have to do a little bit of tucking like you can see here. So if you get your hand in there and just tuck it in, normally it's pretty good. Just keep that window shut. When you're tucking it up, I think I left it open. And then from here, once you've got all 4 on, you can just tighten down. Doesn't need to be crazy tight, just regular tight. You click them on, Velcro none on the top. Any other little bits, you can just tuck him in and then come around to each of the corners, a little bit like this. Just tighten him up. And lucky number 4 over here, tighten them down. And that's it, you're done. So stop the clock. I'm thinking we're probably similar to setup time, a little bit more mucking around, but there you go, you are good to go. So anyone who reckons these things take forever to put up, show them this video. Well, there you have it, guys. That is the trip ready review of the 23ZERO Yowie Armadillo X hardshell rooftop tent. I hope you found it helpful as always, and a reminder that you can find a link in the description down below where you can pick one of these up for yourself. Big thank you to the patrons of Video Show Me How for your continued support. You guys are a bunch of legends. Check out the channel for more trip ready reviews on all things 4x4, camping and adventure gear. But other than that, guys, as always, I hope that you have an amazing day, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers, guys.